Good morning. Day 218 of rowing a mile in the morning. And today I did 100 kettlebell swings with a 53-pound kettlebell. And I want to address something that happened yesterday morning after I got done filming my little episode. It's very embarrassing and it's disgusting, but I think it should be addressed because it might be beneficial for somebody. I'm not really sure. Hopefully. I'm hoping nobody else, or maybe someone else has experienced this, but I have been doing carnivore since May, and I've been doing really well as far as like, my fatigue, I did have some times where I crashed and I did cheat to help get myself out of it. So I pretty much ruined my chance of being fat adapted, probably. I don't think I've ever gotten to the point where I was actually fat adapted, but anyways, I'm trying my hardest to get fat adapted this month. And I thought maybe I was drinking too much heavy whipping cream in my coffee because I would drink about 2 pots of coffee a day, but it was a constant flow of caffeine and heavy whipping cream. And it started to get expensive because I buy raw. So, I mean, it's like $20 for like a pint. And, it's not just me. I have to share, of course. So, of course, I share it. I had my black coffee today. Oh, and my T-shirt is Warm Like Winter. It's from a punk band that we saw at a pizza party in September last year at the Orpheum in Tampa. So, anyways, back to my story. So, I thought, well, having like a steady stream of heavy whipping cream, I thought maybe that might be making it harder for me to cut the. You need to be quiet. You're not going outside. Come here. Come here. Big brother, he's so dramatic. Anyways, so I thought, well, maybe cutting out. I know fat is extremely beneficial in this diet. I understand that. I've been using a lot of cream and a lot of butter. I thought I would figure, what? Well, come here. I wanted to try to go dairy-free to see if that might help with anything. And what I've noticed so far was when I was meal prepping that my legs and my knees didn't hurt or swell. Like I said, my ankles don't swell. It's like I don't have edema. It's just like my quads and my knees would get really stiff and swollen. The day, my birthday party, when I was baking for 2 days straight, I was like up for like literally for 24 hours pretty much. By the end, like before my party started, because I got up again to get everything set up and, bake the cookies so they were fresh. By the end of that, before my guests started to show up, my quads were so swollen that I could barely see my knees. So I put on my like compression shorts, and I thought maybe it is a combination of the training we were doing and the copious amounts of sugar I was eating, because it was bad. It was extremely bad. I know I keep bringing it up, but this was like my downfall. It was really bad. And I really wish, I'm terrible. I even said this before with my bad knee. I wish I took a picture of it to show how bad and swollen it was. Like I looked at, because I was like, man, my quads are really stiff. I was like, I got a sweet pump. And I looked at him and I was like, holy crap. I could not see my knees. They were like little slits. And I'm like, that's not good. But I just put on my compression pants and I went about my day and I was fine. I was fine the next day. So I have compression boots that we bought, that we bought. And I use those. I try to do that every Sunday. So like after the party, I put the boots on and I sat in the sauna and it all went down. But what I noticed on Sunday when I was meal prepping, that my legs and my knees were not stiff. So I was like, that's got to be either from I finally got the sugar out of my system, or it could be from not having the steady stream of heavy whipping cream. Maybe the whipping cream is doing something to my legs. I don't know. It could be an irritant or inflammatory. It could be actually inflammatory to me. So this month, werewolf diet was essentially just going, doing what I was doing before, just taking out the heavy whipping cream and substituting it with beef tallow. Well, the issue with that is that the beef tallow does not mix in the coffee well. And I learned that when the coffee's not piping hot, which mine isn't constantly piping hot, like this is actually like lukewarm right now, the fat just congeals. And that kind of happened with the cream as well, but it seemed like the cream was still being digested. But it just seems like when the beef tallow congeals, it just sticks to everything and it doesn't actually come out. Like out of my tumbler, it's like encrusted in fat, but then it doesn't like come out with the liquid. I mean, I could feel it on my lips. My lips were very moisturized, but besides that, I don't think I was actually ingesting it. And like this past week, I have been just so exhausted. I've just been really, really tired. And I thought, well, maybe on top of changing the diet, it could be the weather. I mean, it's been very rainy. It could be that we've worked 2 weeks, 6 days, 2 weeks, having Sunday off. I mean, it's nice to have a day off, but it's not relaxing when you spend all day cooking or cleaning or whatever, because that's like the day that I get all my chores done. So it could be, it could be from that. It could be from, kind of changing my diet. Like I'm not eating certain things like I was before. I took out the chicken thighs. I love chicken. To be honest with you, that is my favorite meat. I love chicken, but I wanted to try this month to just eat beef or lamb and, no dairy. I was trying to do like a pseudo lion diet called the werewolf diet, quote, quotes, because I was having like my kombucha or whatever. So anyways, yesterday, I had to poop. I was like, oh, awesome. Cool. I haven't pooped in a couple days, which is common. Actually, that was common with me before I even did carnivore. And that's what sucked, was I didn't poop every day. And when I was eating all the fiber and vegetables and stuff, it was a nightmare, because it was like I wasn't pushing out all that fiber. It was just kind of hanging out there for like 2 days and making my life miserable. My gut protrude like I was pregnant. It was awful. With carnivore so far, my bowel movements have been really good. They've been solid, easy to pass, no big deal, no issues there. And then yesterday, I went to use the bathroom and nothing came out. So I was like, okay, well, I'll pack it up and I'll try at work on the clock. But there was no packing up. It was stuck. And it was like crowning. And it was gigantic and I couldn't get it out. And I didn't want to push too hard. That's the thing. Like, I've known 3 people that died from pushing out a poop. And maybe they were opiate addicts. I don't know. Because that was like something that someone said, were like, people get aneurysms when they're using the bathroom and they take opiates, they become constipated. And that could be it. I don't really know their, oh, he's playing. I don't really know their history, but I know that they died on the toilet. And I think that's how Elvis died too. So I told George, I'm like, I'm having a real unique issue going on here. And I took a paper towel and I took a piece of toilet paper and I kind of like felt around and I was like, oh my God, what the fuck? I'm like, is that my intestine? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, Georgie, I know this is really gross, but can you just like take a look and see like what the fuck is going on with my butthole? Because this is not good. I'm like, I might have to go to the emergency room. And I'm trying not to panic because this is brand new to me and I'm scared. So what it was like a whole bunch of little pellets that were all impacted. So I guess it was an impaction. And they were all impacted together. And I told him, I was like, it feels like it's sideways. I feel like, why does it feel like it's stuck? I was like, it feels like a football that's stuck sideways in my asshole. He goes, well, you'll get a glove. I have gloves. I have copious amounts of gloves because I use them for cooking, or I have animals. I have things, and now a box has become handy in the bathroom. So anyways, he didn't have to go in there and take care of it. I told him to get me a glove, and I was like, well, get me a glove and let me see if I can take care of this. So I did. It took a little bit of digging. It was disgusting, but there was no blood. The color was fine. It was just literally little pellets that were impacted so hard and so big it just went past. So I got it out, and I'm like, what the fuck? That has never happened. I was like, I've had pellets before. I've had hard stool before, but I've never had this before. So then I started researching it, and my best friend Google AI. I'm like, hey, carnivore here, cut out cream, and now I am having to dig shit out of my asshole. So what's up? And it was like, oh, maybe quitting the cream. That was a huge source of fat that was lubricating your intestines, that was lubricating your colon, that was getting that stuff going. So then I was like, well, can you give me a protocol to help me not have this happen again? And the big thing was, I was honest with it. I'm like, hey, I drink 2 pots of coffee a day. Now that I don't have cream, I'm drinking 2 pots of coffee with 2 tablespoons of tallow that are just kind of chilling out on top of it throughout the day. So it was like a warning, like a big like siren warning, exclamation marks, like stop drinking so much fucking coffee. So because I was like researching at work while I was processing. So I went over, took my coffee, and I dumped it down the sink, and I just watched it go down. I'm like, all right. So I'm just having 2 cups. I'm having 3 cups. I said I got 3 cups, so I'm having 3 cups. I'm having this cup and then my tumbler. And then once my tumbler's gone, I'm just going to drink hot water. It advised me to up my electrolytes. So now I'm going to be drinking more. I just had some of the fasting electrolytes after my workout. So essentially I'm super dehydrated. I'm super dehydrating myself with coffee, which I know coffee is dehydrating, but now I've reduced my coffee. If this is a persistent issue, then I will go back to drinking heavy cream in my 3 cups of coffee. So I'm really sad I have to reduce my coffee so much. Yesterday I was exhausted. I was so fucking tired. So that's something else that I was like telling it, like, hey, I mean, it was a traumatic experience. I was like, should I go to the doctor? And he's like, no, you're not bleeding. Everything's fine. If this happens again, or, if it's worse, then yeah, maybe put the cream back in your fucking diet. I mean, he's like, you weren't fat. It wasn't causing you any issues. But then again, I guess maybe it was because I was like, my knees and my legs were swollen. It was only on Sundays. At work, not so much. Like I said, at work, I walk around more. At home, when I'm like standing up and I'm doing stuff, not really. But I just wanted to see by the end of the month if it would do anything to me. And so far, all it did was make me have a gigantic impacted shit in my ass that I had to dig out. So I upped my fat. Instead of trying to drink the tallow, I've added an extra tablespoon to each of my meals to see if that'll help. Also, I've added 2 egg yolks to each of my meals as well. And I've added a can of sardines in olive oil. That should definitely help, and also help with the slump. This week, like I said, it could be an accumulation of things changing my diet. I didn't know that heavy whipping cream was also doing the heavy lifting in my diet and in my digestion. So lesson learned. And if anybody else, excuse me, experienced this, and you see this, I'm cool. I'm completely transparent. It's disgusting. It's embarrassing. I know a friend who also told me a story that happened to her, but what it was that she ate a bunch of pumpkin seeds, and she didn't take them out of the husk, and they all got And she's like, yeah. And she's like, I didn't have gloves. She goes, I just went up in there and got that shit out, literally. And I'm like, you're a queen bee. And like, it's embarrassing, but I mean, hey, I've seen chimpanzees do it at the zoo, so I don't think we haven't fallen too far from the tree, I guess. But a huge lesson learned. Like I said, so far with the carnivore diet, I haven't really had any issues. I haven't had the glorious diarrhea. And I think that could be attributed to because I call myself carnivore, right? There's a lot of things that I do that I guess contradict, and a lot of supplements that I take I mean, that also might contradict as well. But these are supplements I've been taking for years. And I was like, I don't really want to stop taking them. I work in a facility with a lot of people. They're from other countries. They're always traveling. They're always coming back. They're always sick. There's always some sort of weird flu or cough going around. And fortunately for Georgie and I mean, we'll get like a cold. We'll get like a little sickness. I think the sickest I got was when I was working in the nursing home and the swine flu came through. That was, God, back in like 2016 maybe. That killed 12 residents. It put 4 of the people in the kitchen that I work with in the hospital. I was the last one to get it. I got really sick, but I mean, I didn't have to be hospitalized. Also, I mean, a lot of the people in the kitchen I worked at were smokers and they were on CPAP machines and they had to go home and do oxygen and stuff. So they were pretty fucked up. It just made my body feel so sore. Like I got hit by a truck. I was like in the freezer at work crying because I just felt so sick. And that was when I was riding my bike. So I did have to call George up to come get me because I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to ride my bike. So Georgie came and got me and we both stayed home for like 2 days and it was just body aches, fever. But I think out of any sicknesses that I've had at work, that was the worst. So when COVID went around, I got COVID. I've got COVID a couple times, but I didn't know I had it. I knew I had it because I would smell cigar smoke. That's how I knew I would have it. And then I would be congested and it would seem more like allergies were just getting really bad. But at work, I think the last time I got COVID, because like I was standing at my desk and there was a fire. But the fire alarms didn't go, and it turned out that they were drilling like some piece of wood and it caught fire or some shit. So like there was smoke in the facility. So I was smelling that, but then I just started to smell cigar smoke and I was smelling it for days. So then I brought my manager over to my area and I'm like, hey, can you smell here and tell me if you smell cigar smoke? And he's like, I don't smell anything. I'm like, oh great, I have COVID. But I didn't have a fever or anything like that. I mean, I wasn't even coughing or sneezing, no fever. It's just that I know when I get it is I smell cigar smoke. So I've known I've had it a couple times, but hey, I am vaxxed and I only got the vaccine once. I got that back in like 2020 when it was like pretty much mandatory. But I want to get into all that. But I'm just saying, like, the supplements I take might not be carnivore. I mean, I know a lot of people argue with that, but they have seemed to help with our situation as far as that we are in a facility with a lot of people and we're closed in 10 hours a day, 4, 5, 6, sometimes 7 days a week. These people are not from this country. They're traveling around. So they're also bringing back things from other countries besides souvenirs. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it has kept us relatively well. I just think the fatigue that I'm hitting right now is just because I am being super strict. I haven't cheated, been very good, being super strict and not having the steady, constant flow of fat that I was having before. So I'm trying to mitigate that. So this is kind of like a trial and error to see if this issue does not resolve itself, then I will just go back to having a heavy whipping cream and just greatly reducing the amount of coffee I'm drinking. So let's see what happens. I'm not giving up just yet, but I just want to be transparent, open, and see if anybody out there who has come across this has also ran into this issue on carnivore, keto, or whatever. I mean, like I said, it's very embarrassing, and I really don't have to tell anybody. But also, I'm like, this could be beneficial. I know it's gross that I kind of had to physically intervene to remedy the issue, But luckily, I have gloves, and I have a very awesome, trusting, and understanding husband who was a little too willing to get in there and take care of it. He had the gloves and he was ready to rock. And I was like, bro, let me see if I can handle this first, because I don't need your gigantic man hands up my asshole pulling out like a baby. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. It didn't hurt. I wasn't in excruciating pain or anything. But like I said, I did not want to push too hard, because I've known people that had aneurysms on the toilet, and that's like something that I don't want to be known for, is that I died taking a shit. Um, Anyways, besides that, I'll let you guys know what else is going on. Obviously, whoever sees this, I'm very comfortable. I have no shame in my game, so to speak. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.